The text from Grace arrived at 9:47 a.m. on Christmas morning. "We're all in on it." I stared at my phone, the cheerful holiday music from downstairs suddenly feeling like a mockery. My name is Sawyer, and this was the moment my entire world shattered, though I'd been watching the cracks spread for weeks. The video attachment loaded slowly, buffering as if trying to spare me a few more seconds of ignorance. Then it played. Owen, down on one knee in front of Grace, my best friend of 12 years. The ring sparkled under what looked like restaurant lighting. They were both laughing, completely at ease, as if this wasn't destroying someone else's life. "She's going to lose it," I heard Grace say in the video, her voice giddy. "Nah, she doesn't suspect a thing," Owen replied, standing up to kiss her. "Sawyer's too trusting for her own good." My hands didn't shake as I watched it again. And again. The timestamp showed it was filmed last night, while I was at my mother's annual Christmas Eve dinner, sitting alone and making excuses for why Owen couldn't make it. My phone buzzed with a call from Kayla, my sister. I declined it, took a deep breath, and typed out a response to Grace. "Can't wait to celebrate. When's the party?" 3 dots appeared immediately. I could almost see her panic, probably frantically texting Owen right now. I switched off my phone and got dressed for Christmas brunch. Downstairs, my mother was arranging pastries on her antique serving plates. "There's my sleeping beauty. Merry Christmas, honey." "Merry Christmas, Mom." I helped her set the table, maintaining what I hoped was a convincing smile. The doorbell rang. Kayla burst in with her usual dramatic flair, arms full of presents. "Sorry I'm late. Traffic was insane." She hugged me stiffly, and I noticed how she wouldn't quite meet my eyes. "No worries," I said, hugging her back just as awkwardly. "How long have you known?" "Known what?" She pulled back sharply. I laughed, playing it off. "That I got you those boots you wanted. Mom totally spoiled the surprise." Relief flooded her face. "Oh, no, I had no idea." Liar. I'd seen her name in the group chat screenshots Franklin sent me last week. My sister, the one person who should have had my back, had helped them plan it all. We sat down to eat, and I pushed food around my plate while they chatted about New Year's plans. "Owen and Grace are hosting something, right?" Kayla asked, watching me carefully. "I think so," I replied, taking a sip of mimosa. "Should be interesting." My phone buzzed again. Grace had finally replied. "Sawyer, I can explain everything. Please call me." I excused myself to use the bathroom, locked the door, and pulled up my messages with Franklin. "It's confirmed," I typed. "Time to move to phase 2. His response was immediate. "Files ready. Meeting tomorrow at 2. "Perfect." I looked in the mirror, fixing my lipstick and straightening my shoulders. The woman staring back at me wasn't the same trusting fool they'd been laughing at. She had evidence, allies, and a plan that would make their little engagement story look like a children's tale. Back at the table, Kayla was telling Mom about her promotion. I smiled, nodding at all the right moments, playing the supportive sister role I'd perfected over the years. "Everything okay?" Mom asked, noticing my quietness. "Never better," I replied, raising my glass. "Here's to new beginnings." Kayla's fork paused halfway to her mouth. Something in my tone must have worried her, but she covered it quickly with a bright smile. I deleted the entire text chain with Grace, then Owen's number, and finally the video. They didn't need to know I had copies of everything. Let them think I was clueless, hurt, maybe even desperate. They'd learn soon enough what happens when you mistake kindness for weakness. "Sawyer?" Mom called from the kitchen. "Help me with the dishes?" "Coming!" I stood up, catching Kayla's nervous glance at her phone. She was probably texting them right now, reporting that I seemed fine, unsuspecting. I touched the small flash drive in my pocket, the one Franklin had given me last week. 6 more days until New Year's Eve. 6 days to make them understand that karma doesn't just knock. Sometimes it kicks the door down. Let the countdown begin. Franklin's office smelled like coffee and old books. He spread photos across his desk while I sat across from him, each image hitting like a fresh punch to the gut. October 17th, he said, pointing to a restaurant photo. This was their first public date, though based on the text records, it started in August. I picked up the image. Owen's hand on Grace's lower back as they entered some upscale place downtown. The week I was in Seattle for work. They were careful at first. Franklin pulled out his tablet, scrolling through screenshots. But they got sloppy. Started a group chat to coordinate their meetings. He turned the screen toward me. There, in plain text, was my sister's betrayal, Kayla. She's staying late at Mom's tonight. You guys are clear. Grace. Thanks. Owen's telling her he's working late again. Kayla. Sometimes I feel bad. Grace. Don't. She'll understand eventually. Owen and I are meant to be. When did Kayla join their little club? I asked, my voice steady despite the rage building in my chest. September 23rd. Franklin checked his notes. Grace approached her first, used your childhood rivalry as leverage. A memory flashed. Kayla and me as teenagers, fighting over a borrowed dress she'd ruined. Mom taking her side, like always. Of course she did. My phone buzzed. Speaking of the devil, Kayla was calling again. I answered, putting it on speaker. Hey sis, I said cheerfully. What's up? Just checking in. You seemed off at Christmas. Her voice dripped with fake concern. Really? I'm great. Actually, I'm meeting Grace for coffee later. We're planning a New Year's surprise for Owen. Silence. Then, oh, that's nice. Isn't it? Gotta go. Talk soon. I hung up and looked at Franklin. How long until she warns them? He checked his watch. Give it 5 minutes. Right on cue, my phone lit up with a text from Grace. Coffee sounds great. When and where? They're scrambling, Franklin noted, pulling out another folder. But this might interest you more. Found some irregularities in Owen's work records. The documents showed deleted emails, modified timestamps, and suspicious wire transfers. He's been cooking the books? Small scale, but yes. Enough to get him fired if it reached the right people. I took photos of the evidence with my phone. And his boss's email is already compiled in that folder. Franklin handed me a USB drive, along with something else you should see. He pulled up a video on his computer. The timestamp showed 3 weeks ago at Jasmine's birthday party. I recognized the back patio of her house. I can't believe she hasn't figured it out, Grace's voice came through clearly. She was sitting with Owen, both slightly drunk. Remember when you gave me that sapphire necklace and then had to buy another one for her because I wore it to dinner? Owen laughed. Cost me extra, but worth it to see her face when she thought she was getting something special. I touched my neck where that necklace used to rest. I'd thought it was unique, meaningful. Just another lie. There's more, Franklin said quietly, but maybe save those for later. No, I straightened up. Show me everything. For the next hour, we went through it all. Every meeting, every text, every betrayal. By the end, I had a clear picture of not just the affair, but the entire web of deception. One last thing, Franklin said as I stood to leave. Your sister's been recording your conversations, sending clips to them. That explained her constant calls. Perfect. Let's give her something worth sharing. I pulled out my phone and dialed Kayla again. Hey, she answered too quickly. About coffee with Grace. Actually, I was thinking about New Year's Eve, I cut in. Remember those parties we used to throw in college? Maybe we should do something special this year. Invite everyone. Everyone? Her voice wavered. Yeah, You, me, Grace, Owen, the whole gang. For old time's sake. I, I'll help you plan it. Thanks, sis. You're the best. Always looking out for me. I ended the call and looked at Franklin. They'll expect me to break down, make a scene. And instead, I picked up the USB drive, sliding it into my pocket next to the first one. Instead, they'll learn what happens when you give someone nothing left to lose. Franklin nodded slowly. Just remember, revenge is a dish best served. Ice cold, I finished. With receipts. Just posted, I texted Franklin, attaching a screenshot of my latest Instagram story. Me, smiling with a coffee cup, location tagged at Owen's favorite cafe. The caption read, "Some secrets are worth keeping." Within minutes, my phone exploded with notifications. Grace viewed it first, then Owen, then Kayla. Like dominoes falling, each notification confirmed they were watching my every move. The cafe door chimed, and Jasmine walked in, spotting me immediately. Her face showed the strain of keeping secrets. "Hey, stranger," I said, gesturing to the empty chair. "Thanks for meeting me." She sat down, fidgeting with her sleeve. "Sawyer, there's something—" "Sugar?" I pushed the container toward her. "You look like you need something sweet." "I can't keep doing this." Jasmine's voice cracked. "You don't know the half of it." I took a slow sip of coffee. "Try me. There are things they've said about you. Plans they've made." She pulled out her phone, hands shaking. "I saved some of the messages." "Show me." She slid her phone across the table. Group chat screenshots filled the screen. Conversations I hadn't seen before. They'd been planning the proposal for months, timing it specifically to hurt me. Grace. "Christmas morning will destroy her." Owen. "She'll probably cry at her mom's." Classic Sawyer drama. Kayla. "Mom always said she was the sensitive one." "I should have told you sooner," Jasmine whispered. I reached across the table, squeezing her hand. "You're telling me now. That's what matters." My phone buzzed. An email from Franklin. Subject line, "Package delivered." Perfect timing. "Watch this," I told Jasmine, pulling up Owen's company website. Refreshed the page once, twice. There it was. Breaking news banner. Internal investigation launched into financial irregularities. "What did you do?" Jasmine's eyes widened. "Me? Nothing. Anonymous tips are funny things, aren't they?" My phone lit up with Owen's call. I let it ring. "They're all coming to the New Year's party," I said, turning back to Jasmine. "You should come too. Might be educational." "Sawyer." She leaned forward. "What are you planning?" The cafe door chimed again. Vincenzo walked in, right on schedule. He spotted us and headed over, his face grim. "You were right," he said, sitting down. "Owen's been playing everyone, not just you." He pulled out an envelope, sliding it across the table. Inside were photos. Owen with another woman, dated months before Grace. Then another, and another. "Grace doesn't know?" Jasmine asked. "Grace doesn't know a lot of things," I replied, tucking the envelope into my bag. "Yet." My phone buzzed again. Grace this time. "We need to talk." "Please." "Aren't you going to answer?" Vincenzo asked. I showed them my screen, open to the party planning app. "Too busy. Got a New Year's Eve bash to organize." "They think you're clueless," Jasmine realized. "That's why you're acting normal." "Normal?" I laughed. "I'm acting exactly how they expect. The naive, trusting friend who'll probably forgive them by February." "But you won't," Vincenzo stated. "No." I stood up, gathering my things. "I won't." Walking home, I stopped at a small jewelry store. The sapphire necklace, the one Owen had given me, identical to Grace's, sat heavy in my pocket. The jeweler examined it carefully. "Beautiful piece," he said. but not authentic sapphire. Colored glass. I thought of Grace, wearing her identical fake gem, thinking she was special. Can you replace it with a real one? Of course. Ready by tomorrow. Perfect. I wrote down the delivery address. Grace's apartment. Add this note. Thought you should have the real thing. Check yours carefully. Outside, snow started falling. My phone buzzed with a text from Kayla. Mom wants to do dinner tonight. Please come. I typed back. Wouldn't miss it. Got some exciting news to share. Let them squirm through another family dinner. Let them wonder what I know, what I'm planning. The party invitations would go out tomorrow. A carefully curated guest list of everyone they'd fooled, manipulated, or betrayed. My phone chimed one last time. Franklin. Video files ready for New Year's Eve. Sure you want to go through with this? I touched the real sapphire in my pocket, the one I'd been wearing all along, the one Owen never knew about. Some people mistake kindness for weakness, silence for acceptance, and patience for defeat. Absolutely, I replied. Time to show them who I really am. Mom's dining room felt smaller than usual, the tension making the walls close in. Kayla sat across from me, pushing her food around while Mom droned on about her book club. Remember that summer at the lake house? I asked suddenly, cutting through Mom's story. When Grace pushed me off the dock? Kayla's fork clattered against her plate. That was ages ago. 15 years, I said. I nearly drowned, but you both said I was overreacting. Sawyer, Mom sighed. Not this again. No, it's relevant. I pulled out my phone, scrolling through old photos. Found this earlier. Look familiar? The image showed teenage Grace and Kayla laughing on the dock, my splashing clearly visible in the background. Grace's face showed not concern, but satisfaction. We were kids, Kayla muttered. Were we? I swiped to another photo, more recent. Grace wearing my clothes while I was away at college. Kayla helping her pick outfits for my closet. Seems like a pattern. Mom set down her wine glass hard. What's this about? Just reminiscing. I smiled sweetly. Hey, Kayla. Remember when Grace dated Mike right after he broke up with me? Senior year? Kayla's face paled. That was different. Was it? Or was it just the first time you helped her take something of mine? Sawyer, Mom snapped. What's gotten into you? My phone buzzed. Grace calling again. I held it up so they could see her name on the screen. Should I answer? Maybe ask her about the engagement? Kayla knocked over her water glass, liquid spreading across the white tablecloth. I need some air. Engagement? Mom looked between us. What engagement? Oh, didn't Kayla tell you? Owen proposed to Grace on Christmas Eve. Everyone knew. Well, almost everyone. The silence was deafening. Mom's face shifted from confusion to understanding to anger. Kayla, she said quietly, is this true? But Kayla was already grabbing her coat, heading for the door. I followed her into the front yard. You knew, I called after her. For months, you knew. She spun around, tears streaming. What was I supposed to do? Be my sister. I am your sister. But Grace? She said things would be better this way, that you'd move on, find someone who actually loved you. I laughed, the sound harsh in the cold air. And you believed her? Or did you just enjoy watching me get hurt again? It wasn't like that. No. I pulled out my phone, playing the video Franklin had found. Grace and Kayla in a cafe 2 months ago. She always gets everything, Grace was saying. The attention, the guys, Mom's approval. I know, Kayla replied. Maybe this will finally knock her down a peg. I stopped the video. Still want to tell me how it wasn't like that? Kayla stood frozen, snowflakes catching in her hair. Where did you get that? Does it matter? The truth comes out eventually, always. Sawyer, please. She stepped toward me. We can fix this. Fix what? My relationship? My friendship? My trust in my own sister? A car pulled up. Owen's sleek black BMW. Of course they'd called him. Don't do anything stupid, Kayla pleaded. I walked past her toward the house. Too late for that warning, sis. Should have given it to yourself months ago. Inside, Mom was waiting, her face streaked with tears. I had no idea. I know, Mom. I grabbed my purse. But now you do. And so will everyone else. What does that mean? It means I'm done being the family doormat. I headed for the door, then turned back. Oh, and Mom, you might want to cancel your New Year's plans. The party at my place is going to be unforgettable. Outside, Owen was talking intensely with Kayla. They both looked up as I passed. Sawyer, Owen called out, we need to talk. I kept walking, pulling out my phone to text Franklin. They're panicking. Time to send the invitations. His response came quickly. Already done. Plus, something interesting just arrived at your apartment. A wedding invitation sample. Summer date. I smiled, imagining Grace's face when she realized I'd seen her precious invitation. Let them scramble to explain that one. My phone lit up with a final text from Kayla. Please don't do this. Some things should stay in the past. I typed back, you're right. So let's focus on the future. Starting with New Year's Eve. Bring champagne. We're going to need it. 3 more days. Just 3 more days until their perfect little world shattered like the trust they'd broken. And I'd make sure everyone had a front row seat. The projector's all set, Franklin said, adjusting the hidden device in my living room ceiling. Remote-controlled, HD quality. They won't see it until it's too late. I stood in the middle of my apartment, surrounded by party decorations and fairy lights. Everything sparkled with calculated perfection, just like the fake life they'd built around me. The doorbell rang. Grace stood there, holding a bottle of wine and wearing an anxious smile. Can we talk? She asked. Please? I stepped aside, letting her in. Her eyes darted around, taking in the party preparations. Wow, you're really going all out, she said. Of course. It's not every day you get to celebrate your best friend's engagement. She flinched. About that? The wine goes there. I pointed to the bar cart. Next to the champagne Owen likes. You remember his favorite brand, right? Since August at least? The bottle slipped from her fingers, but she caught it. What did you say? August 15th, to be exact. That little wine bar downtown. You wore my blue dress, the one you borrowed and never returned. Sawyer. She set the bottle down carefully. It's not what you think. No? I pulled out my phone. So you weren't there on August 15th? Or September 3rd? Or every Thursday while I worked late? How did you... No? I've known for weeks. But please, tell me your version. Make it good. She sank onto my couch. We didn't mean for it to happen. Really? Because the video of you two planning the Christmas proposal suggests otherwise. Her head snapped up. What video? The front door opened. Kayla, using her emergency key. She froze when she saw Grace. Perfect timing, I said. Family reunion. What's going on? Kayla asked. Grace was just about to explain how she accidentally fell into a months-long affair and engagement plot. It wasn't like that. Grace stood up. Owen and we connected. It was real. Real? I laughed. Like the sapphire necklace he gave you. The fake one? Grace's hand flew to her neck. What are you talking about? Check the new one I sent you. Compare it to your original. Interesting difference, right? Kayla stepped between us. Sawyer, stop this. Stop what? Telling the truth? That's rich coming from you. My phone buzzed. Franklin's signal. Right on cue, the hidden projector clicked on, displaying a photo on the wall behind them. Grace and Owen at the lake house in October, her wearing my missing sweater. How did you... Grace whispered. Another click. Another photo. Kayla helping them pick out the engagement ring. I have hundreds more, I said. Videos too. Want to see them all at the party? You can't, Kayla pleaded. Watch me. Grace grabbed her purse. I'm leaving. Sure. But first, I handed her an envelope. Your wedding invitation sample arrived. June is lovely for backstabbing, don't you think? She ripped open the envelope, then went pale. Inside wasn't her invitation, but photos of Owen with other women, dated before their affair began. He wouldn't, she whispered. Wouldn't he? Ask Vincenzo. He's got quite the collection of stories about Owen's adventures. Kayla tried to see the photos, but Grace clutched them to her chest. By the way, I added, the party guest list includes everyone, and I mean everyone. Should be quite the reunion. You'll ruin everything, Kayla said. No, you did that. I'm just providing the venue. Grace stumbled toward the door, still clutching the photos. Kayla followed, but paused in the doorway. Mom will never forgive you for this. Mom will be front row center. Already RSVP'd. After they left, Franklin emerged from the spare room where he'd been controlling the projector. That was just a preview, he said. Wait until they see what we have planned for New Year's Eve. My phone lit up with messages. Owen, we need to talk. Now. Grace, please don't do this. Kayla, Mom's crying. Jasmine, just heard what happened. I'm on your side. Vincenzo, more evidence if you need it. I ignored them all, instead sending out one final party reminder to the guest list. New Year's Eve, 8 p.m. Dress to impress. Trust me, you won't want to miss this celebration. Some surprises are worth waiting for. Franklin watched me type. Ready for the fallout? I looked at the wall where their photos had been projected, imagining their faces when the full truth played out in front of everyone they knew. They wanted a show, I said. I'm just giving them a better one than they planned. The day before New Year's Eve, Mom showed up unannounced at my apartment. She stood in my doorway, looking older than I'd ever seen her. Cancel the party, she said without preamble. Come in, Mom. Want some tea? She followed me to the kitchen, watching as I filled the kettle. Kayla's a mess. Grace isn't eating. Owen's father called me. Funny how everyone's worried about consequences now. I set 2 mugs on the counter. Where was this concern when they were plotting behind my back? They made a mistake. No. I turned to face her. A mistake is forgetting someone's birthday. They orchestrated months of lies. Different thing. And this revenge party will fix that? The kettle whistled. I poured water over the tea bags, buying time. Fix? No. But maybe next time they'll think twice before playing with someone's life. Mom wrapped her hands around the warm mug. You sound so cold. Cold. I pulled out my phone, playing the video from Thanksgiving. Them laughing about my obliviousness while I cooked dinner for everyone. They were warm enough, weren't they? She watched, face crumpling. Turn it off. There's more. Want to see Christmas Eve? While I was with you, they were... Enough. She stood up. What do you want? An apology? Fine. We're all sorry. Sorry you got caught, maybe. A knock at the door interrupted us. Jasmine stood there with a box of decorations. Oh, she said, seeing Mom. I can come back. No, stay. I took the box. Mom was just leaving. Sawyer, please. Mom grabbed my arm. Think about what this will do to the family. Family? I laughed. Like when Kayla helped Grace steal my boyfriend? That kind of family? Jasmine set down more boxes. I've got the playlist ready, and Vincenzo confirmed the bartender. Mom looked between us. You're really doing this. No, Mom, they did this. I'm just providing the venue. After she left, Jasmine helped me hang the last of the lights. My phone buzzed constantly. Desperate messages from everyone involved. Grace, we can work this out privately. Owen, whatever you think you know. Kayla, Mom's right. This is too far. They're scared, Jasmine observed. Good. I checked the projector alignment one last time. They should be. Franklin arrived with the final video files. We sat testing each clip, making sure the sound was perfect. This one's particularly interesting, he said, playing footage from Owen's office. Grace visiting him, not realizing the security cameras caught everything. Save that for the finale, I said. My doorbell rang again. This time it was Vincenzo, looking nervous. Owen knows I helped you, he said, stepping inside. He's threatening to ruin my business. Let me guess. He'll tell everyone you leaked company information? Yeah, I smiled, pulling up emails on my laptop. You mean the information he was already under investigation for? Before you said anything, Vincenzo's eyes widened at the dated correspondence. You planned for this. I planned for everything. My phone lit up with a text from Grace. Can we talk? I want to clear the air before tomorrow. She's trying to get ahead of it, Jasmine said. I typed back, sure, come over. 20 minutes later, Grace arrived. She'd been crying, mascara smudged under her eyes. Whatever you're planning, she said, I deserve it. But Owen, he really loves me. I played the office video. Her face crumpled as she watched Owen tell his colleague that Grace was convenient and temporary. Still think he loves you? She sank onto my couch. I threw away our friendship for nothing, I finished. How does it feel? What do you want from me? Want? I gestured around the apartment. I want everyone to see who you really are. Both of you. All of you. And then what? Then? I shrugged. Then I never have to see any of you again. After she left, Franklin helped me finalize the timeline for tomorrow. 8 p.m., guests arrive, he reviewed. 9 p.m., first revelation. 10 p.m., the major drops. Midnight. Midnight is when they lose everything, I finished. Just like I did on Christmas morning. My phone buzzed one last time. Kayla. Please, we're sisters. I thought about responding, but instead turned off my phone. Tomorrow would say everything that needed saying. Ready for this? Franklin asked. I looked around my apartment, transformed into the stage for their downfall. They wanted a party, I said. Let's give them one they'll never forget. 8 p.m. My apartment filled with nervous laughter and clinking glasses. Owen arrived with Grace, both trying too hard to look casual. Kayla hugged the wall near the bar, downing champagne like water. Quite a turnout, Franklin murmured, passing me a drink. I surveyed the crowd. Colleagues, friends, family. Everyone who needed to witness this. 9 p.m. The first photo flashed on the wall during what seemed like a casual slideshow of party photos. Owen and Grace at the lake house. A few gasps, quickly silenced. Sawyer, Owen approached, charm cranked to maximum. Can we talk privately? Why privately? I raised my voice slightly. Afraid of what people might hear? Grace grabbed his arm. Let's just go. No. I clinked my glass with a spoon. Everyone, gather round. Time for a toast. The crowd shifted, forming a loose circle. Mom stood near the door, face pale. Kayla tried to slip out, but Jasmine blocked her path. To new beginnings, I said, raising my glass. And to old friends who show their true colors. The projector hummed to life. The first video played. Owen and Grace planning the proposal, laughing about my reaction. Turn it off, Owen demanded. Can't. I smiled. We're just getting started. Next came the group chat screenshots, filling the wall with their cruel messages. People turned to stare at Kayla, who dropped her glass. "It gets better," I announced. "Owen, want to explain the company finances? Or should I play the security footage?" His face went white. "You wouldn't. Like you wouldn't propose to my best friend on Christmas Eve?" The office footage started playing. Owen with Grace, then with other women. Bank statements. Deleted emails recovered. "He's under investigation," I told the stunned crowd. "Has been for weeks. Grace didn't know that part, did she?" Grace stumbled backward. "Owen? And Kayla," I continued. "Remember helping them plan all this? Let's watch that again." The videos kept coming. Every betrayal, every lie, projected for all to see. Someone started crying. Maybe Mom, maybe Grace, maybe both. "Enough," Owen shouted. "This is insane." "Insane?" I laughed. "Like gaslighting someone for months. Like wearing my clothes while sleeping with my boyfriend Grace?" More footage played. The crowd murmured, shifted, some heading for the door. "Wait," I called out. "Don't leave yet. It's almost midnight." "Sawyer, please," Kayla begged. "Please what? Keep quiet? Like you kept quiet while they planned this?" The final video began. Owen in his office yesterday, panic clear on his face. "Grace means nothing. The engagement's fake. Once this investigation blows over..." Grace ran for the bathroom. Kayla followed. Owen lunged for the projector remote, but Vincenzo stopped him. "Your father's watching this live stream," I told Owen. "Board meeting tomorrow morning. Interesting timing." "You've ruined everything," he snarled. "No." I stepped closer. "You did that yourself." The countdown to midnight began. 10 seconds of silence except for distant fireworks. "Happy New Year," I said into the quiet room. "Grace, the ring's fake too. Just like both of you." Owen stormed out. Most guests followed, leaving whispers and shocked faces in their wake. Mom approached, tears streaming. "Was this worth it?" "Ask your daughters. Both of them." Kayla emerged from the bathroom, supporting a sobbing Grace. "I sent everything to your fiancé's family," I told Grace, "and your boss, and every contact we share. Happy engagement." "You're heartless," Kayla whispered. "Funny." "That's exactly what you all counted on. My heart being too big to notice your betrayal." They left together, Grace's mascara streaked down her face, Kayla's hands shaking as she helped her friend out. Franklin started shutting down the equipment. Jasmine and Vincenzo began cleaning up. "You okay?" Franklin asked quietly. I looked around my apartment. The decorations now seemed hollow, the champagne flat, the lights too bright. "I did what they never could," I said. I told the truth. My phone buzzed with messages. Owen's father. Board meeting moved to 7 a.m. Grace's mother. Wedding canceled. Kayla. Mom's in tears. Unknown numbers. Is the video real? I deleted them all, then turned to my remaining friends. "Thank you," I said, "for helping me end this year honestly." Jasmine hugged me. "What now?" I walked to the window, watching fireworks paint the sky. "Now?" I smiled. "Now I start over." Without any of them. The night wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about reclaiming my story, my truth, my life. And somewhere in the city, 3 people were learning that karma doesn't just knock. Sometimes it throws a party. The morning sun filtered through my new apartment windows as I unpacked the last box. Franklin sat at my kitchen counter, scrolling through news on his tablet. Owen's resignation made the business section, he said. Stock dropped 12%. And Grace? Moved back in with her parents. Her firm's clients weren't thrilled about the scandal. I placed a framed photo on my bookshelf. Me with Jasmine and Vincenzo at my housewarming party last week. No fake smiles, no hidden agendas. My phone buzzed. Kayla's number again. Still not answering? Franklin asked. She had her chance to be my sister. She chose differently. The doorbell rang. Mom stood there, looking smaller than usual. Nice place, she said, stepping inside. Very you. Thanks. Want coffee? She nodded, following me to the kitchen. Franklin quietly excused himself, squeezing my shoulder as he left. I got your letter, Mom said once we were alone. I poured coffee into 2 mugs. And? You're right. I failed you both. Set you up to compete instead of support each other. Took you long enough to admit it. She pulled something from her purse, an old photo album. Found this while cleaning. Remember this day? The picture showed Kayla and me as kids, before everything got complicated, before Mom's favoritism poisoned us. Why are you here, Mom? Because I miss my daughter. Her voice cracked. And because Kayla's moving away. London. Some job offer. Good for her. That's all you have to say? I set down my mug. What do you want me to say? That I forgive her? That I understand why my own sister helped destroy my life? No. Mom touched my hand. I want you to say you'll be okay. I am okay. Better than okay. I gestured around the apartment. I'm free. My phone lit up with a text from Jasmine. Grace just tried to get hired at my company. Should I send the video reel? No, I typed back. She's not worth the energy anymore. Mom watched me. The revenge. Did it help? It wasn't revenge, Mom. It was justice. They needed to face consequences. And now? Now I focus on people who deserve my trust. I showed her my calendar. Dinner plans with Franklin, weekend trips with Jasmine, business meetings with Vincenzo. You've changed, she said. Had to. But you know what? I like who I've become. The doorbell rang again. This time it was Kayla. I'll go, Mom said quickly. No, stay. I opened the door. Hello, sister. Kayla looked exhausted. I'm leaving tomorrow. Early flight. Congratulations on the job. That's it? She stepped inside. No accusations? No more revelations? Nothing left to reveal. You showed me exactly who you are. I showed you who I was afraid of becoming, she whispered. Your shadow was so big, Sawyer. I couldn't breathe in it. So you tried to suffocate me instead? Mom made a small sound, like a suppressed sob. I'm sorry, Kayla said. It's not enough, but it's true. I walked to my desk, pulled out an envelope. This is for you. Open it in London. She took it, hands trembling. What is it? The truth. Every childhood photo where Mom praised you and criticized me. Every text where you plotted with Grace. Every moment that led us here. Why? So you never forget what jealousy cost us. She clutched the envelope. Will you ever forgive me? Maybe, but not today. After they left, I texted Franklin. It's done. He replied immediately. Proud of you. Dinner later? I smiled, looking around my peaceful apartment. No more fake friends. No more toxic family dynamics. No more settling for less than I deserved. My phone buzzed one last time. Grace, I miss you. I deleted it without responding. Some bridges aren't meant to be rebuilt. Instead, I opened my laptop and started writing. Not about revenge or betrayal, but about resurrection. About choosing yourself when everyone else chooses against you. Franklin was right. Karma doesn't just knock. Sometimes it teaches you how to build a better door. And behind mine, only truth, only real connections, only people who earned their place in my story. The rest? They could keep their fake sapphires and empty promises. I had something better now. I had myself.